Hey gang, Chuck Barone here. Tuesday, July 19th, 2022, and welcome to the show. We're glad you're here. We always want to, first thing I do every time is to thank all of you for your support, for watching the videos and supporting the channel. We really appreciate it, and the kindness you guys have shown in your comments has just been extra generous. I couldn't be more grateful, guys. I really appreciate every single one of you guys. In the markets today, a crazy day in the markets. We're seeing more and more of this stuff, guys. So today, the stock market has a massive rally. Just across the board, every sector up. Dow up, NASDAQ really rallying, S&P broad rally all the way across every sector in the markets. And as I'm researching it, they're trying to convince me now that the reason we had this rally today is because of super strong earnings. Well, I've been looking at these earnings, and while it's true some of these companies are earning money, at least every bank reported way less profit than they had, and their earnings are going down. So I don't see how that drives a big stock market rally, and especially in the face of what we know is going to be happening with interest rates and this inflation. So this might be one of those suckers rallies we've been talking about. You know, be cautious, guys. Don't get caught up in this nonsense that everything's fine. It isn't. We all know what's been happening, what's going to happen. We've been forewarning everybody. It's happening. So beware of these kind of rallies that look to suck you and your money in. The bond market today, the 10-year ends up over 3%, so it's getting back to a little bit of reality. The yield curve is still inverted, so it's still pointing to a big recession. We know the Fed is raising interest rates again 3/4 of a point on the 27th, 9 days or 8 days from now. There's going to be a big sell-off in this bond market. Rates have to come up. Well, what's the sense, really, of having these rate increases if rates actually go down? So I think that there's going to be a sell-off coming up in the bond market. We can watch and see that happen in real time coming up over the next couple of weeks. The dollar today ends up down weaker, down to 106.7 on the dollar index. It's coming back down to earth, guys. I think there's a reality now. The ECB is actually talking about raising half a point to bring their rate to 0. I think that maybe there's an inkling that some of these other foreign governments are going to get serious about fighting inflation, bringing their rates up where they should be. So it's causing a little bit of weakness and doubt in the dollar, which will lead ultimately to a rally in gold and silver. Today, they're only up marginally. Silver is around $1,715 per ounce. Obviously, gold is, I'm sorry. Silver is pushing $19 per ounce at around 1880 or 1885. It looks like the rally is starting in metals. Depending on what happens with the dollar over the next couple of weeks, I think we could see a pretty strong rally in gold and silver. The oil market today, oil was up marginally. The West Texas Intermediate closing at around $104 a barrel. Natural gas gets a little bit of profit taking. It's been really surging, down to about 7.35 for their thermal units, billions of thermal units, or however they measure it. I think that natural gas still has a way to go to the upside with the threat from Russia. It's looking more and more like they're going to keep the gas off all winter for Europe. So there's going to be big demand for natural gas. The U.S. is the world's largest natural gas producer. Hopefully we'll be able to fill the void and people won't freeze their buns off and have to take the Jimmy Carter method of wearing a sweater or a sweatshirt in the house. In important news today, we had 2 big reports come out. Building permits and housing starts, both down. Not dramatically, but down. And that's kind of signaling the end of this real estate boom. Real estate is starting to make it slide down the hill now. There's all kind of new supply coming out of the market. We have impatient sellers with builders all slashing their prices down now. There's a lot of listed houses here in Vegas that have been reduced more than once already. Sellers are used to selling their houses quickly, but it looks like we're going to revert back to a more normal market where it could take some months to actually sell your house. So lots of new supply, prices coming down. Builders, I told a story yesterday in the video, forgive me for repeating it, but one of my kids has a friend who works for a builder, real estate agent for a builder. And he was telling them that they had 40 closings in May, 12 closings in June, and so far for July, they're at -7. So they're having contracts actually canceling. They're actually negative for the month. Not a good sign for new houses. Sellers in the regular market, in the pre-existing house market, cutting prices faster. Almost 30% of listed houses have reduced prices. A lot of people are reducing more than once, trying to get some people to come and even look at their house. Loan demand, being in the mortgage business, I'm telling you, is virtually zero. Now this one's a little bit different than the one in 2008. In 2008, I had people lining up out my door who wanted to get loans, but the whole system was frozen up and no one could get a loan. None of the banks were lending money. This time around, the banks have the money to lend. They want to lend. There's one problem. There's no demand for loans at those rates. So it's starting now, and it's only going to continue to get worse as time goes by and we get deeper into this recession. The title of the video today, Lying Government Liars Telling Lies. It's just, I got to tell you guys, as I do research for the show every day, I cannot believe some of the stuff I'm being confronted with. It's literally insulting to the intelligence, the crap they want to shove down your throat and try to make you believe. Now, remember this, guys. The government and its lackeys in the media and the press, well, what they tell us is literally bullshit. And it's only designed to either deflect blame from themselves onto someone else, or to confuse us, to confuse you, to create uncertainty, to kind of move you in the direction they want you to go. Let's look at, I have a little list here of some of the most recent greatest hits in the lies they've been telling us. Tell me how many of these you remember. Inflation is a supply problem. Inflation is transitory. Inflation is peaking. There will be no recession. Maybe there will be a recession. There will be a recession sometime in the next 12 months. If there is a recession, it will be shallow and short. If there is a recession, the Fed will engineer a soft landing. Remember what I told you about soft landings, right? Here are some of my more recent greatest hits. Americans are flush with savings. The consumer is in excellent financial shape. Real wages for workers are rising. Guys, what a load. What a load of... And now they're moving on. So now they want to tell us that it's our fault. It's the consumer's fault. Or the millennials, those avocado toast eating people that, that either are saving too much money or not saving enough money or can do no right. Or it's the illegal immigrants coming in from the border. Oh my God. Now, I'm not advocating for that. But they're not the reason we're having this inflation. Or it could be the other party. It's the Democrats. It's the Republicans. If we want to spend money, they want to spend too much, and on with their nonsense. Then they got, of course, the Chinese excuse. They can always play the China card, the Russia card. It's always some other force out there. Well, let me tell you the truth of what's real and why we're having this inflation, at least the way I see it. Now, the way our government's set up, there's two parts to money policy. There's the monetary and the fiscal. Monetary policy is the Fed, with interest rates, the control of overnight rates, the direction they can set by buying or selling bonds in the market on longer term rates, and of course they control the money supply. Then we have the fiscal side, which is our Congress critters and the executive branch who set government spending, okay? So the Congress sets the spending and sets budgeting, and the Federal Reserve makes sure they have the money, okay? Now, Congress, what are they doing? Deficit spending, relentless stimulus. I think that the Fed, horrifying. Both of these, fiscal and monetary, in my book, get a grade of F-. The Fed, to stimulate demand and keep the economy going, has kept rates low for way, way, way too long, overstimulating demand, especially in real estate. They've been stimulating people to borrow money and get into these giant debt traps they can't get out of. They've been printing out massive amounts of cash, endless supply of money, and the government, on the fiscal side, with their ever-growing deficits, monetizing their own debt, massive stimulus measures, giving money away everywhere, costing billions and billions of dollars, wasting billions more on some lame-ass pet projects or studying the mating habits of salamanders. The list of government waste and the way they spend our money is a very long one. You know, the last time the government passed a budget, an actual budget, was in 2009. At least that's what they say. But guys, that wasn't a real budget. It was a giant, fake-ass, pork-laden omnibus spending bill that nobody really wanted to pass. The last time they had a real budget passed, a real budget that they all agreed on, was in 1997. 1997, 25 years ago. Now these same geniuses, these same ignoramuses, the ones who got us into this stuff, the ones who've been literally have created this giant mess. Now these same geniuses want to tell us, don't worry guys, we got this, and they're going to be the ones who get us out of this mess. Who believes that? Do you? Do you really believe it? Guys, we're on our own here, okay? Nobody's coming to help us. The politicians, the government just does not give a crap about us. They don't. The bankers could care even less about us. What we have, guys, are ourselves. And what we do as individuals and collectively to do the right thing and protect ourselves from these lame brains. So what have we been saying on the show? Save your money. 10% of your income. Save 10%. Start building your FU fund. Get your money put away. Build that $25,000 war chest. That way you know, come hell or high water, you got enough money put away to get you through any crisis. Invest that money conservatively. Right now is not the time to be reaching for gains. Now is the time to protect the money you already have, to protect your capital, not be looking to make big gains on that money, and also to spend your money wisely. Be more thoughtful about how you spend your money. Be less impulsive. Try to make sure that above all you're saving money, and if you can afford to spend the money on the things you want after that, go for it. You know, we're not advocating some kind of miserly life here where you can't enjoy yourself at all at the expense of saving. Save your money, put your 10% away, and then enjoy the rest. Life is for living, guys. This is not the end of the world. This too shall pass, okay? But these lying liars, don't listen to them. You know what you got to do. Get busy doing it. Anyway, that's all I have for today, guys. I just wanted to, I'm so disappointed with the way this is all playing out. Even though we've all seen it coming, it just, the reality of it makes me unhappy. Let's just say that. Anyway, that's what we got for today. We really appreciate your support. If you like what you're hearing, please hit the like. Share the video with your friends and your subscribers. Always, as always, ask questions in our comments. Make your comments. We really appreciate the support. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. And don't forget, askchuckbarone@gmail.com for your financial questions and more detail or some stuff you might not want to put in the comments section. That's it for today, guys. We really appreciate you being here. There's a whole bunch more reports coming out tomorrow and Thursday. We look forward to talking to you. Until then, take care, everybody. Thanks.